guys.
Hi.
You are with the Antler Queens, the most inclusive Yellowjackets podcast where we shove peace, love, and Yellowjackets down your beautiful goddamn throats. We also speak candidly about sensitive issues as they relate to the show, such as mental health, politics, bigotry, etc., because it's important to have these conversations. I am Kelly, Karmic Cat Forgery Keen.
I'm Jazzy Bootleg Rush Hour Karma Points Shamanic.
I'm also still the woman with no eye. My eyes are still being assholes.
Traitors.
Yes, hence the sunglasses.
Traitorous.
I really thought that I was going to be able to ditch the sunglasses tonight, and no such luck.
That's
No
all
such-
right.
But I really like these
Just
sunglasses.
looking real cool. I never saw Ray Charles one time without sunglasses, and he was the coolest guy ever. So
yeah, he looks pretty cool. I've also got my wine tonight because it's been one of those fucking days.
earned.
Nothing serious, actually. Everything's just when it's so funny because like when things start going right, I feel like the little things all just start falling apart. Because things can't ever just be perfect, you know?
I've been at or near the end of my rope for like the last 3 days, so I feel ya.
But we are covering today Yellowjackets episode 3. Wait, is this episode 4?
3 or 4, yeah.
Episode 304, 12 Angry Girls and One Drunk Travis, which is a great episode title. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I loved this episode.
Yeah, it's my favorite so far.
Yeah, of the ones that have been aired so far, this is definitely my favorite. And in my opinion, it gets better from here.
Yeah,
it's
the acting, especially like the teen timeline. The acting, I mean, both. I never want to snub the legends that are the adult timeline. Damn, the teen timeline went hard this week.
Yes.
They were. Sophie was incredible. Samantha, like both Sophies, Jasmine, like everyone. What an episode!
Yeah, everybody was great in this. Everyone was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I loved the Van and Ty stuff in the adult timeline. We finally got our soft pretzel horse carriage moment. It was very sweet.
Yeah.
Right after they almost killed a guy together.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Ty killed that guy. She killed that guy. For sure.
Yeah. But no, I love this one. And I honestly think episode 5 is even better than 4. And I think 6 is even better than 5. We kind of feel a little differently about episode 7. I feel like I need to watch it again because I'm just kind of like, it gave me season 2 adult timeline PTSD. And I'm just
once we see what happens, since we don't know what happens beyond that, I feel like it'll determine where that episode lands.
Yeah.
If it's going where you think it's going, then I agree with you. But if it's any of the 18 things I think,
yeah. I will say though that this episode, we saw some of Javi's old drawings from season 2.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about those during our discussion because they tie into what I want to talk about regarding Adam Martin and Walter, and how I think that the conversation about Adam is not over yet, and how I think Walter might be involved, but we will get to all of that during the discussion. For now, let's just go ahead and jump into it. Why don't we?
All right, let's do this.
You'll have to forgive us for, you've seen the episode by now, so you know that the teen timeline was entirely all trial. So the visuals on this one aren't going to be nearly as interesting, but I tried to get as many screenshots as I could just so everyone's not sitting there looking at the same image the entire time. But we kick things off with the teen timeline. The Yellowjackets march a defeatist-looking Ben back to camp. The noise wakes up Travis, who is sleeping in a hut filled with Javi's drawings. Shauna, Van, and Akila discuss their shared hallucination. Akila believes it could be a message, but the other girls shrug her off. Arriving at the camp, Shauna proclaims it's time for Coach to pay for what he's done. Several girls chime in with their agreement. Nat insists Ben has a chance to tell his side of the story and orders a trial. The girls argue how the rules will work. They agree to a 2/3 majority rule, appointing Ty as the prosecution and a reluctant Misty as defense. Akila approaches Lottie, gathering flowers in the meadow. She tells her while she didn't want to bring this to her, it feels important. She recounts the dreams she and the other girls experienced during their gas blast. Except it didn't feel like a dream to her. It felt like she was really there. Lottie tells her that she had a vision and asks if she's ready to keep going. Akila is hesitant, but agrees. Lottie asks to hear more about the cave. Coach Scott is being held prisoner in the ducky pen, clearly surprised by what the girls were able to accomplish. Out of nowhere, Misty arrives and slaps Ben's face like they're the stars of a gothic novel. She demands to know how he could set the fire and try to kill her after everything she did to help him. Ben denies his involvement, and she's instantly convinced. Misty, with her trademark intensity, tells Ben to drop the emo act if they're going to win their case. Van begins the case by announcing the rules and the Honorable Judge Natalie, who comes out fully decked in an early version of Antler Queen splendor. She knocks her makeshift gavel and invites Ty to begin the prosecution. Ty calls a surprised Mari to the stand. Mari insists she be sworn in, and Lottie approaches to start rambling some wilderness bullshit. Natalie cuts her off and states that Mari agrees to tell the truth, so help her all of them, a fitting threat. Ty begins questioning Mari, leading her to call Ben deranged. Misty does a fairly good job of turning Mari's testimony on her, focusing on him helping her out of the pit instead of leaving her for dead. Shauna is next to be questioned, Misty asking if the reason she was up so late the night of the fire is because she herself said it. Shauna denies this, but Misty presses her, bringing up Shauna's disappointment with Natalie being chosen as leader over her. Ty begins cross-examination, asking Shauna if Coach helped her when she needed him. She says no, remembering how he abandoned her while she was in labor, insisting he only pushed play on the tapes in sex ed, and leaving Misty and Akila behind to deliver the baby. The group is moved by Shauna's testimony, and things are looking grim for Ben. Misty begins questioning Lottie, asking her if it's possible that anyone who wasn't dedicated to their faith may have burned down the cabin in protest. Lottie admits that's a possibility. Misty calls out everyone who is a non-believer, including Natalie, Ty, and Shauna. She asks Lottie if anyone could infer that she herself burned down the cabin, and if that isn't true of all of the girls for various reasons, couldn't it technically have been any one of them? Lottie agrees. Misty gets Lottie to say that it would be unfair to convict Ben of murder. The crowd seems swayed. Shauna comes to sit with Ty, asking how she plans to proceed. She lets Ty know Natalie knew where Ben was hiding. Ty is shocked and asks how long Shauna knew, but Shauna says the person she should be asking is Natalie. Natalie asks if there's any more witnesses, and Ty asks Nat to take the stand. Misty protests, but Natalie agrees. Ty questions Natalie about the last time she saw Coach Scott and admits it was the day she drew the queen. Ty manages to place the timeline after Hobby's death, but before the cabin burned down. After some intense questioning, Ty drops the bomb that Natalie knew where Ben was the whole time. Mournfully, Natalie admits the truth, saying she thought that they could just let him live in peace because he wasn't a threat. Furiously, Shauna jumps to her feet and insists that wasn't Natalie's decision to make, and that decision cost them the cabin and nearly cost them all of their lives. Thaisa smugly smiles at Natalie and announces the prosecution rests. With her voice shaking, Natalie asks Misty for the next witness. Misty calls Coach Scott to the stand. Misty asks Ben if he wanted to coach soccer or work with children at all. Ben says no, and Misty asks him why he was on the plane to begin with. She asks why he stayed at school for 9 years if he just hated it the whole time. He said that he liked teaching and grew connected to the kids despite the fact that they annoyed him. He liked that they were underdogs like him. Misty asks if he would ever hurt an underdog. Ben lists several examples of times he actually could have hurt the assembled, like turning them in for getting drunk or outing Ty and Van when he caught them last year. He references being bullied as a teen and wanting to protect them from what he went through. Misty asks why he abandoned them. He scoffs and said he loved them, but once he got to the wilderness and lost his leg, he lost his agency and they stopped listening to him. He says he was scared he would be eaten next now that he outlived his usefulness. Starting to cry, he says that he was a coward and he never should have left them like his parents left him. He apologizes to Shauna directly. The group seems moved by his words. He finally tells them how incredible their will to survive is and how he should have appreciated it sooner. He says he may not understand their belief system, but he didn't try to kill them. Misty rests her case. Natalie instructs the group to vote, saying she, Misty, and Ty will be excluded as they were involved in the trial. They vote. The majority agrees that Coach Scott is guilty, but there isn't a 2/3 majority. Natalie says they will vote over and over until people change their votes and get the 2/3 one way or the other. They vote several times. After multiple attempts, Shauna finally snaps, shouting that he tried to fucking kill them. Natalie attempts to silence her, announcing that the trial is over, but Shauna persists. He burned down their only shelter with all of them inside. She demands to know who thinks he's guilty and raises her hand, staring everyone down. Melissa immediately throws her hand up and then pressures Jen sitting next to her to do the same. Lottie changes her vote too, and one by one, the team caves to Shauna's pressure, voting Ben guilty. Shauna announces her victory, and Natalie declares Ben guilty of attempted murder. Melissa excitedly asks Shauna if she understands what she's done. That's fucking power. They separate, and Lottie sits with Travis. She pulls a rough sketch on bark from his hand. It looks like one person floating horizontally above 3 others looking on. Travis says it's the outcome.
All right, we are in the adult timeline, starting off at the repair shop. The Sadekis are told that their brakes wore out naturally and were unlikely to be tampered with, despite Shauna's suspicions. Jeff believes this is karma for his role in Kevin's death. He didn't stop the van, now the van won't stop. Obvious karma. Somewhere in the city, Lottie steps out of a bank in a fur coat that looks incredibly similar to the one she wore while she was in the wilderness. She takes a call from Ty, who asks her what she meant in the finale of the previous season when she said it was pleased with them and they would see. Lottie claims not to remember saying this. She rushes Thaisa off the phone, despite her protestations, and hurries off. Back at the Sadekis, Jeff has watched a few episodes of My Name is Earl and now has a complete understanding of karma. Shauna questions him as he loads up items of theirs to donate to in order to gain karma points. He's feeling overwhelmed and needs to do some good. He also pulls out a flyer for a missing cat that is over 2 years old, announcing that they will get major karma points once they find it. Callie enters and asks if they're going to try to improve their karma because they kicked Lottie out on the street. Shauna doesn't want to hear Lottie's name again. Jeff announces that they are off to do volunteer work, and Callie declines. Ty and Van are sitting at an outdoor restaurant table, debating their plans to try to leave a Queen of Hearts on the ground to see if it chooses anyone. Van begrudgingly agrees, and Fresh Blood by Eels plays as they leave the card on the ground. After several near misses, including one by a small child, a man picks the card up off the ground and puts it in his pocket. Thaisa declares, well, it picked someone, and they leave their table to follow him. Jeff and Shauna arrive at Sunnyview Senior Home, aka Misty's place of business. Shauna is mad, but Jeff says they probably won't even see her, as she immediately wheels an old woman into frame. Misty storms up to the car and demands to know why they were there, asking if Shauna has come to apologize. Shauna denies owing Misty an apology and says she should send her the bill for her breaks instead. Jeff is confused by the tension, but announces that they are there to volunteer. They are Misty's humble servants for the day. Gleefully, Misty assigns Shauna to tapioca duty, stating that this is better than any apology. Van and Ty continue to follow the man with the card. He's carrying a little girl's dress in a dry cleaner bag. Van wants to call it off since the man clearly has children, but Ty says that maybe he only has that dress because he's a creepy pedophile. They speed up and almost lose him as he enters his apartment building. Back at Sunnyview, Randy is calling bingo, but lacking a bit of finesse. Jeff takes over, and his dad jokes are a major hit with the crowd, much to Randy's chagrin. Misty checks in on a patient who she believes has a letter from Walter, but the page appears to be blank. She heads back to the kitchen to find Shauna singing along to Ace of Base's I Saw the Sign as she stirs the pud. Misty is annoyed that Shauna is unbothered by tapioca duty, and Shauna continues to be nasty for some reason and refuses to apologize, saying that Misty should be the one apologizing to her. She finally offers a fake apology, enraging Misty, who glances over at a large kitchen knife and momentarily fantasizes about plunging it into Shauna's back. Gathering herself, she declares that this is unhealthy, and she leaves, but not before snatching the potential Walter letter and a handful of puzzle pieces from her patient before storming out of Sunnyview. Lottie's in her dad's penthouse, practicing apologies in the mirror like a completely normal person. She seems to be struggling mentally, but continues to practice. Shauna pops her finished tapioca into the walk-in. The door slams closed behind her and is stuck fast. She calls out that she's in there, but no one answers. She knocks and struggles with the door, but it seems like no one can hear her. She tries to smash the door open with frozen meat when she hears Jackie's voice from behind her saying, "Nice one, Shipman." She turns to see Jackie's icy ghost sitting with her in the fridge, looking very smug. Ty and Van enter the man's apartment building and continue their pursuit. Ty heads up the stairs with Van following hesitantly. They walk up to his door and try the lock. It's open. Ty is convinced that this is a sign and starts to head in. Van begs her to stop. Ty says she needs more time with Van, but Van doesn't want to live if this is what it costs. She pleads with Ty until she finally gives in. Ty says there's a new plan and tells her to meet her in the park in an hour and takes off out of the building. Jeff is playing cards with the residents, easily charming the seniors. Randy tries to get the attention back, but the seniors shoo him away, asking him to bring back snacks. He shuffles off, leaving Jeff with his rapt audience. Shauna continues to call for help as Jackie's ghost mocks her. Jackie says perhaps she was always meant to end up this way, frozen and left for dead, just like her. She tells Shauna that someone's trying to hurt her. Shauna tells Jackie to leave her alone, but Jackie insists that she's the most interesting thing about Shauna. The cold is starting to get to Shauna, but Jackie tells her she'll be warm soon. Randy enters the kitchen, hunting for snacks. He hears Shauna pounding on the door and lets her out. She rushes off to find Misty, accusing her of locking her in the freezer, but Misty has left the building hours ago. Jeff arrives home, asking why Shauna ditched him with the olds. Shauna surprises Jeff with a cat that looks identical to the one on the missing poster. Jeff is at first excited, thinking Shauna actually found the missing cat, but she tells him the cat on the poster is for sure dead, and this one looks exactly like it. The owners will definitely be fooled. Surely this will grant them hefty karma. Jeff doesn't believe that cat forgery will count in their favor karmically, but agrees that it is a thoughtful gesture. Ty and Van meet in the park. Ty has created a mini Manhattan in the park so they can have the date they dreamed about going on when they were trapped in the wilderness. Linger by the Cranberries plays as Van gets Ty a soft pretzel, and they go for a carriage ride. Misty inspects Walter's note, looking for clues. Unsuccessfully, she scrolls the Citizen Detective page, where she finds a posting about a dead body recently discovered. Her phone buzzes. It's Walter, asking if she's okay. He's just heard about Lottie. Startled, Misty clicks the link, and up pops a picture of Lottie, dressed as we last saw her, sprawled on the ground, dead. We move to the location of Lottie's body as she lays at the bottom of a set of stairs, surrounded by candles and police tape. Someone snaps photos of her corpse as we roll to credits. No worries.
So, real quick, by the way, I didn't have this photo up for long enough, so I just wanted to bring it up again because I love it.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. But we did get some screenshots of the for it, of the sub for it, the Bureau of Citizen Detectives.
Is it possible to promote vine growth in such a way that the vines spell out words? That's interesting.
Yeah. Some of these are funny. There's one on here that has some code and it says someone decipher this, and I forgot to like put it into Google search, but it's it looks like T54 !! 32E
Blop.
BOLP. It said someone wrote it in pencil on the underside of a yogurt package that I bought from the store. I have questions. There's a post. Does anyone here understand Sentinelese? And this one is hilarious. A double homicide was committed last week in Raleigh, and a pet sugar glider was the only witness. Anyone thinking what I'm thinking?
What are they thinking? I want to click on that link.
It was a homicidal pet. It was a homicidal sugar glider.
Ooh, they are tough.
And we see the image, body found, info still coming in. But and then underneath, I thought it was funny that underneath there was a post that was cut off, but you can see the words get paid for what they do. How do you? So I assume it's somebody asking like, how do I become a real detective? Which cracks me up.
That's funny.
But okay, I have a beef here.
All right, what's your beef?
Why the fuck did Showtime decide to show Lottie's dead body in the trailer?
Yeah, I don't know. That was a weird choice.
And I kept forgetting to talk to you about this.
Yeah.
Because the way we work here is we make up our minds about things before we get screeners.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, I had kind of seen bits and pieces of this episode, and I knew it ended with that same shot. But that was something I'd already picked up on from the trailer, which is why I felt comfortable bringing up in our trailer episode.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously I was right, because like I
don't have been.
Exactly.
I don't know why they showed that.
We saw a dead body with blood.
It's gotta be, she's gotta be dead, but like I almost feel like I keep wanting to think that it's faked because she died off camera.
Yeah.
Like she died so early in the season. Like it's only episode 4. She's a major character.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's just weird. It's a weird way to handle character death, especially for a major character like Lottie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. I really didn't like when I don't know. I don't know. I guess I can go ahead and say it. I really didn't believe that that she was really dead, but yeah, it seems like she's really dead.
I mean, it was like Misty in the trailer stabbing Shauna in the back. I mean, that
I assumed was a dream sequence because they do that a lot. They do a lot of fake outs.
Right. But like, this was, I mean, it doesn't look like this was a fake out. So why the hell would they put this in the trailer? It seems like it's
very real. Yeah.
I don't get it.
How are they going to kill Lottie off camera? Huh?
of course, Prom did a lot of that shit too, though. Like they ruined the reunion.
Yeah, they
Like,
did. They really did.
yeah. But
Walking Dead spoiled Beth's death for me, like right the minute after the episode aired.
Oh yeah. I remember that. I remember that.
Mad. Real mad.
I remember Beth Deathgate.
I was like, you guys can't wait like 20 minutes.
Right? Oh my God. At least they apologized for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like, it blew my mind. And I kept meaning to talk to you about it because I was like, oh God, Jazzy's going to be like, why is she talking about this on our trailer episode? It's because I dissected that trailer and I'm like,
right after, yeah, we got screeners before that.
I'm like, that's gotta be fucking Lottie because it
doesn't. I mean, who else could it have been?
Yeah,
I just thought it would be a dream. It would be a dream sequence or something else. Like I don't know. I feel bad for Courtney because she only got to have an adult counterpart for like 6 episodes or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Lottie did show up in like episode 1. So I think she did get her for a whole season. But it's I was a little shocked. I did not expect that.
No. I was expecting a high body count in the adult timeline this season, but I was not expecting to lose a main character this early.
Well, another one, because Natalie died last season.
Exactly, because Natalie just died.
Yeah.
Like her memorial was episode 1, and now Lottie's dead in episode 4?
That's what it looks like.
Yeah, it sure seems that way. It's a bummer.
But I mean, Melanie Linsky said that there was going to be a high body count.
Yeah.
This season. I'm assuming that it's probably real and that more people are likely going to die.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully no other adult survivors, but it looks like maybe they're going to be doing the like 1 per season thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll
see.
Yeah, like it makes me wonder who might be next.
Like there's just like Lottie we need a lot of answers from Lottie. Like I'm not ready for her to be, like I don't believe any of the stuff she said about Travis. I think there's a real story there, and I think she's the only one who knows it.
Well, let's talk about some of the mysteries on this show.
Yeah.
So, okay, hang on, I'm going to pause this again. Okay, so let's talk about some of the weird stuff going on right now in the show.
Mm-hmm.
I had a big problem, and I've made no secret about it. I had a big problem with the adult timeline last year, as did a lot of people. The investigation sucked, but I also absolutely hated how they wrapped things up with Adam.
Yeah, me too. It was a bummer.
I mean, because it seemed like he was stalking her. It almost seemed like they ran out of time and they just at the last minute just decided to wrap it up some other way that they thought about at the last minute. I mean, that's how it seemed to me.
They lost that whole episode. I feel like has to be a big part of it. Maybe. Because they had to do you know about that? About their they were supposed to have 10 episodes last season. They had, I think it was episode 6 that they shot and it got lost. Like the masters got lost.
Oh my God, I thought you were talking about the bonus.
No, I'm talking about a full episode. They lost a full episode last season and they didn't have the budget or the time to reshoot it. So they had to rework the entire last half of the season to fit the amount of time they had left.
No wonder it was so fucking messy.
Somebody lost the master. So like when you're shooting, there's a person, I don't remember what the title is, but there's a part of the camera team that uploads all of the stuff off the memory cards. And then someone takes the memory cards and drives them to wherever the editor is and that's like one PA's whole job basically
Yeah.
is to drive the masters. And somebody lost that whole episode of like I don't know if it was at the editor or at the location or what happened, but yeah. So they had to redo the whole last chunk of the season. So I feel like that's why it was so rushed, because they lost the whole hour of storytelling.
Holy shit.
I can't
Oh
believe
my
you hadn't heard
God.
about that.
Yeah, no, I was purposely avoiding anything Yellowjackets
Yeah,
related
very
for
fair.
a very long time, for like
Yeah.
close to a year, because I have things going on.
Mhm.
Um,
Absolutely. Totally
so
understandable.
yeah, so yeah, it makes sense that I didn't hear about it. But wow, that is crazy.
It explains a lot.
Yeah, no kidding. Holy shit. But yeah, I didn't like how it wrapped up. It seemed obvious to me that, and to you and to a lot of people, that Adam was stalking Shauna.
Mhm.
He was seeing her for what, like 2 weeks, and
Yeah.
had a shit ton of paintings of her.
Showing up at her house at like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
No, he was a creep.
But so we've got we've got a fandom MVP of the week. And that is, now I'm gonna massacre this person's Twitter handle, so I'm just gonna spell it out. It's MUWUMON2, Muumon2. Uh, to be Mark Guire, Yellowjacket spoilers is their name on Twitter, but they put up a great post that I need to share. We all paid, I think a lot of us heavily dissected Adam's back tattoo, and I did a whole episode about it, but let's take a look at this, okay? Can you see that fairly well?
Oh yeah.
Okay. These are two of Javi's drawings at the bottom. I
Oh my
mean,
god. Yeah, that's spot on.
yeah, that
I didn't even realize those were the drawings and not just different a different angle of his back.
right?
Yeah.
And I was curious about the slap bracelet, because at first I thought it was the symbol, but then when I saw it closer up, I was like, oh no, that's got some, like, that's just like some other kind of sigils going there. And that definitely seems to have some similarities to that. But so we've also got, oh, wrong one. So these are pictures from this week's episode of Javi's Drawings. And it's pretty much the same thing, but they came up in this episode and the camera focused in on them. So, I mean, that to me says that they're going to come up again. They wanted us to remember these drawings.
Yeah. That makes total sense.
Yeah, and not just because like of Travis sharing the outcome. I mean, he could have just shared the outcome,
Yeah.
Which, and I've got that picture here too somewhere. Yeah, we can take another look at that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What does this mean?
Yeah, I don't know. It's very strange, but okay. Here's something really interesting, and I really should have realized. I wish I had realized this before now, because I could have gone back and gotten a screenshot. I'm pretty sure Sammy had a drawing just like this on his window.
Ooh. We're gonna have to go back and look at that.
Yeah. There's okay. And the mystery gets even thicker. So last week we talked about how I kind of went on a tangent about how Walter's story to Misty about the bartender calling all of her contacts and not getting an answer until he got to Walter, how that was total bullshit. And there's no way in hell that happened. And that he likely just called Walter, which at the time I thought like, okay, well, maybe he called Walter because at the time that I was saying that, I was thinking like maybe Walter was saying that to manipulate her because he probably just called Walter because he's probably the last person that she called or had the most calls to.
Yeah, that's what I would assume. And check first as a bartender is the last call.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that would be way easier than going through all of their contacts.
Well, now I'm thinking there's more to it. Because the bartender, apparently, I knew immediately as soon as we saw him that he looked familiar. But I thought it was because we had seen him, because we've seen that bar. Like, that's
oh yeah,
the only bar that they go to that Misty has gone into on the show.
Damn.
And when we saw him, I just assumed, oh, okay, that's been the bartender the other times they've been there. But no, I was rewatching season 2 and there was somebody else tending bar, and our season 3 bartender was the chop shop guy that Shauna held a gun to. And it gets even thicker because when she came in, he was talking to his girlfriend on the phone. And when she pulled the gun on him, when she came in and pulled the gun on him, he set the phone down, but didn't hang up.
Oh my goodness.
And she went on to give this whole speech about skinning and killing people. And now her brakes are messed up, and the mechanic dude is telling her that no one messed with your brakes. You just got a faulty brake booster, which means that, like, I think bartender / chop shop guy could have just put in like some really shitty parts that he knew would fail. Because we never revisited that whole carjacking thing, and I thought that was really weird too. Because I felt like there was more to that story.
Yeah. It was really quick. Like, why didn't they ever call the cops on her or anything?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, because, they carjacked her.
Yeah, good point.
But it's...
And she's a white lady, and she's gone. It was her van. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. There's shit going on, and our season 3 bartender is involved, and Walter is involved. That's my theory. That's what I'm going with.
That's a solid ass theory.
And I think they knew Adam. And these 3 guys somehow all knew each other and have been stalking them for a while. For what reason? I don't know.
They're in cahoots.
Yeah.
Cahoots, I tell you.
I really think that Walter and bartender / chop shop guy and and Adam all knew each other. But maybe this mechanic was shady too. And he only told her that, like, that nobody messed with it because he was trying to cover for somebody. Who knows?
That's a total possibility that her brakes were tampered with and he just lied. But I don't know how Walter would know where she'd take her car. Or anyone would know where she would take her car.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe there's not that many shops.
Yeah.
In town. I don't know.
Yeah, it was hard to tell because when she was on the phone with Adam in season 1, it's hard to compare that background to where we saw her in this episode because we didn't see a whole lot of it. And I'm still mad at him, by the way. I've been mad at him ever since that episode for talking to her while he was eating a sandwich.
Yeah, fair.
Especially since Melanie Linsky just had an interview where she was talking about how she has misophonia.
Oh my goodness.
So now I feel bad for Shauna and for Melanie.
Jesus. Don't talk with your mouth full on the phone. That's
Adam
just
deserves
the
to die.
Not cool.
In my opinion, for talking to her while he was eating a sandwich. I'm sorry.
He got it. He had it coming.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I mean, there was a lot of discourse about the Adam and Shauna thing during season 1. And like, oh, people think it's so hard to believe that they'd be attracted to her. It's not just about that. And I do think that there was some of that.
What?
There absolutely was some of that.
Melanie Linsky's fucking stunning.
Yeah, she is.
Stunning.
But I mean, I do believe that there were some people saying shitty things about, like,
yeah.
But oh God, I'm gonna have to edit this out because what the fuck was I about to say? Oh yeah, but no, there was something genuinely strange about it. About their, like, it just seemed weird. It seemed like he was stalking her, and then we saw the paintings. And it's just, we're not done with Adam, okay? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And this isn't a spoiler.
Really weird.
This isn't a spoiler. It's all speculation. But I do not think we're done with Adam.
Definitely not. Yeah, we have no idea. But Kelly has a good idea. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, I just
like something.
I really didn't. I was so soured on everything Yellowjackets related and didn't think that I would even be hosting the Antler Queens anymore. So I honestly, like, I didn't go back and do a rewatch of season 2 because I was just like, it was triggering for me.
Yeah, fair.
Because
absolutely fair.
I mean, I had to go to therapy for PTSD from what happened to me while I was covering this show. Because I was covering this show. So, I was just very soured on everything Yellowjackets related. So I didn't go back and watch this stuff I didn't go back and watch season 2 until recently. So all of this is now coming up for me. And I'm just like, I'm noticing all this shit. And I'm like, holy crap, what the hell?
Yeah. I haven't rewatched season 2 either, actually, which is weird because I have access to it. I just rewatched the first season and then I haven't. I liked the second season even. Maybe I'm not ready. I've been having a rough time. Maybe I'm not ready to watch Natalie die again.
Yeah. I don't particularly enjoy that, especially since, like, it kind of destroyed my favorite Radiohead song for me. I did a reaction video for that episode too, and for the Patreon. It was not public, and I'm glad it wasn't. Because I was like ugly crying all over the place.
Oh, brutal.
Yeah, I was not fucking happy at all. I mean, like, favorite character.
Oh, see, I know. Yeah, me too. I was deeply wounded. I was not, because I could not believe it.
Yeah.
Why is Shauna being such a bitch? Like, what is going on? Why is she being so, like, after they told her the breaks were not Misty's fault, why is she still up Misty's butt about it? Like, why is she still like, I should send you the bill for my breaks? Like, what? Why are you being so mean?
I don't know. I think she just doesn't like anybody challenging her or being smug toward her.
Yeah.
I know somebody like that. But I know a few people like that. But yeah, I think probably that. But oh my God. The line about her asking Misty if she could send the bill to the mountain where she lays her eggs is possibly my favorite line of the entire series.
Very funny.
Forget No Book Club.
Yeah.
this totally trumps No Book Club.
Melanie's line reads are incredible. That line was, and I feel like, I mean, a lot of actors could have made that funny, but I feel like the way she delivered that is like something only she could do. It was so funny.
Oh my God. It was fucking brilliant. I could watch that scene over and over again. I was fucking screaming the first time I watched it. Oh my God. Just
have you ever watched it used to be called At Midnight, but now it's called After Midnight. Yeah. Did you see Melanie Lynskey on After Midnight?
No, I missed it. I need to watch it.
I'm not gonna get into the whole thing, but she was like doing this bit and she'd tell the joke and it'd be like such a funny joke and no one would laugh. And Taylor Tomlinson was like, Melanie Lynskey is such a good actress that everyone's just like, yes, of course. Like they're just taking her at face value and not realizing she's telling a joke. And then that kind of like lightened the crowd up. But she was so funny. And like the crowd was just like, tee. Like they were so charmed and like smitten with her that they like weren't laughing.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
She was funny though. Yeah, she was funny. Go watch it if you guys are fans of After Midnight or comedy in general.
Yeah, definitely. By the way, not to get on a tangent, a Yellowjackets tangent unrelated to this episode, but I was watching the earlier episodes from this season again, and I don't know why I felt like during the dinner with Joel and the other dude with the hotel guys.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know I said in our last recap that, you know, Shauna was right about everything, but like, I didn't really realize until I watched a couple more times just how right she was. And I was like,
he was awful to that. I mean, they sucked. Like straight
terrible.
Up. I'm glad that she shut them down before you got to like give Jeff an embarrassing no. But she never gave it a shot at all. She was so nasty to them from the jump.
I know. I loved it. I loved every bit of that. And I'm still really upset that Jeff is like so hurt by it. But
I mean, I get it.
If my husband had done that, I would have been like, we're renewing our vows right now.
I don't think Jeff saw it the way that I don't think Jeff realized it was a no. Maybe. But like I get it on the sense that like his store is struggling. He feels probably, I don't want to use the word emasculated because I feel like that has such a negative connotation, but I'm sure he feels some type of way about just the general vibe of Shauna. Period. Like I know he wants to provide for his family, and it seems like he's very passionate about what he does, and he's trying to improve his store any way he can and not succeeding. So I get him being like disappointed and like bummed that Shauna didn't take it more seriously, but he had to know those guys didn't give a shit about him. Like they were not trying to help him out. Get real, Jeff. Come on.
They went to go talk to somebody else and we're giving Shauna shit about being on her phone.
I know.
When she had a like when, you know, she clearly had like, I don't know if he knew that like, I don't know if the guys knew that their daughter was a teenager, but they could have just said they could have said like they had
a babysitter.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not, like, don't be rude.
Yeah. It's fucking ridiculous.
Those guys sucked. Yeah. I'm glad that she gave them the old FU.
Yeah, she inspired me. I aim to call somebody a painful little boner one day.
Yeah. Amen. I love that idea.
But anyway, there's a lot of weird shit going on right now, and I don't know what to make of it. And also, last week we read a comment from a viewer who suggested that, you know, perhaps like all of what we're seeing in the teen timeline isn't really happening.
I like them that is disproven by them bringing Ben back.
But here's the thing. They're throwing in references constantly to like, I mean, we got the Land of Make Believe commercial and like Aquila saying that the hallucination, it was like she was really there.
Yeah.
And I don't know what to think anymore.
Like, I think that if I really loved that theory, I thought it was very, very good. I do not think that if that were the case, then we would have lost that when Ben arrived at camp, and we would have seen it through his eyes and not through theirs. But he's like impressed, and he's really impressed with what they've achieved, and like in his little speech, I thought, which was amazing, which was really well done. We haven't talked about the team timeline at all yet, but Steven Kruger's speech at the end where he was defending himself was so well acted and so sad, and he really brought it. But yeah, he talks about like, I could have never achieved this. I'm so proud of you. Like you obviously, like, even though I don't understand your belief system, you guys know what you're doing. And like he expressed how proud he was of them, and I really liked that. It was a really nice moment. But I feel like if that were the case, that we would have lost. We would have seen that by now.
Yeah. And I totally get where you're coming from. I'm just like, I just don't know what to make of it all. And I'm really afraid that we're gonna, like, at the end of the series, we're gonna find that there's like a whole parallel timeline thing going on.
Mari suggested it.
Yeah, exactly.
She did suggest it.
I'm just, I don't know. I don't know what to think. Like, what if none of that stuff happened and they all convinced themselves?
Just all of them on the plane from Lost.
Yeah.
Flying into the afterlife.
They all died on the plane. I don't know. It's like, I'm so mad because it's getting to the point where it's hard for me to speculate anymore. Because I don't know what's real and what's not. Like, they're really just...
I have a lot of theories, but we can't talk about any of them.
It doesn't help that we're also covering Severance, which is now also confusing the fuck out of us. And I don't know.
There's no easy place to rest your brain. It's all puzzlers.
I think I'm actually dreaming right now, and season 3 of Yellowjackets hasn't even happened yet. They're still filming it. Severance, they're still filming season 2 of Severance. I fell off my roof somehow, and I just...
You're in the alternate timeline.
I never even had a podcast. Okay?
If you were in the dark timeline, that would explain so much. I absolutely... I'll start making myself a cardboard mustache right now. It's on. We're definitely in the darkest timeline.
Holy shit. Okay, so I was in a really awful car accident almost 12 years ago. That, like, the car accident that disabled me. I think I invented Yellowjackets and Severance.
Are we all in your dream?
Yes.
Is it turtles all the way down?
None of you are real.
It works for me, bro. Wake up. Let's go.
I'm still in the hospital. And when I wake up out of my coma, I'm going to be like, wait a minute. What do you mean Jazzy was fake? She doesn't exist. What?
If that's the case, though, you will have 2 award-winning series ready to be written.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And then you come find me and we'll work on them together. It'll be perfect.
Awesome. But you're not real. How am I going to find you?
I'll be real on the other timeline.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You'll be real on the other timeline along with Wild Marjoram. Wild Marjoram will be real.
Shout out. I love her.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm confused. That's all I can say at this point. All right, so yeah, let's talk about the trial. Like,
Yeah.
um,
I thought everyone, I loved the judge outfit. Let's start there.
yes,
Rocked it. Killer. Amazing. I love that she got tired of wearing the antlers about 5 minutes in and took them off. That was
yeah,
funny to me. But yeah, I'm assuming that is eventually what comes the full Antler Queen costume, right? Like,
yeah.
that seems
I
to be
would think
the
so.
beginnings of it. And then damn, everyone killed it. Like, Jasmine Safeway Brown was so fucking good in this episode.
She was
She
great.
was so good. Some of my, like, she's one of my she's one of my favorite actors in the cast, period. But like, she was so next level.
Yeah,
She has a great season. The season, period. She's so good. I thought Samantha was amazing. Samantha Hannah as Misty, like, her whole. I was really surprised how easily she switched into that mode, but not really. Like, she was like, "Hey, Schmidt, I hate you. You're indefensible. Never mind, I love you, and I'm on your side 100%." That's kind of classic Misty, but
man,
yeah,
Shauna was just like,
yes,
holy fuck,
both Sophies,
holy
out of this
crap.
world, both Natalie and Shauna,
She
especially
scared me in the viewing audience. Like,
yeah,
what the fuck?
Natalie being deposed and being the judge at the same time, and like the moment when Ty drops the bomb that Nat's known where Ben was the whole time.
Yeah,
That was wild. That was wild. So well acted on everyone's part.
yeah,
I love the show.
yeah, yeah. I do too. I'm really looking forward to the power dynamics. I think if this whole like warring tribes is actually going to happen, then I think it's obvious Natalie and Shauna are not going to be on the same team.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which, you know, and it's funny because I was watching season 2. I was rewatching season 2, like I said, over the past week or so. And I mean, it's crazy how much Shauna has changed.
Yeah.
So much.
Yeah.
And like she was really sweet with Natalie last season. And
yeah. And that ended when Natalie got crowned.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
She is real jealous. I don't blame her, honestly. Like, I really don't. I don't understand. I mean, other than the fact that, like, just had a horrible, like, terrible experience with labor and being a child. Like, other than that, but yeah, other than that, I think Shauna's honestly earned a leadership role. Like,
Yeah.
she has kept them alive for the most part. And I mean, Nat does the hunting, but butchery is hard.
Yeah.
She needs more credit for that.
Who do you if they do split into teams, who do you think Ty is going to side with?
Shauna. Ty and Shauna are really tight. I don't see them splitting up.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I was really. Who were you the most surprised at changing their vote?
Lottie.
Me too.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming, but it makes sense because once that pen falls, then all of her little fucking minions like fall in line. So it made sense, and I love the way they did it. Like, I really, honestly, the way they shot that whole sequence, like, it felt, like, even though it was only a couple of minutes long, you really felt like they did it over and over and over and over and over, and we're all exasperated and exhausted by the situation. Like, it felt very, very real. Yeah, for an insane thing to be happening.
Yeah. Are you still thinking that Ben set the fire?
100%, 120%. Yeah. 417%. Yeah. it would have been. Yeah.
I keep going back and forth.
He did it to me.
I want it to be Ben.
Yeah. I definitely think there's no chance that it's Cabin Daughter.
Yeah.
And I know I don't think it's any of the girls. I really don't.
I refuse to believe it's Issa.
It's
absolutely
not.
refuse to believe it's Issa.
Why would Issa put she needs Ty's physical body alive to exist?
Well, she did almost walk off a cliff though.
Yeah, but was that on purpose? Was it just because Ty can't see? I don't think she was trying to kill Ty.
I don't know.
Maybe she thought if Ty was knocked out, then she'd just have control forever.
Yeah.
I don't know. That is a good point.
It was Crystal. Crystal is still alive, at least in my heart. Okay.
I couldn't believe Misty said that.
I know.
So it could have been Crystal for all we know. Like,
yeah,
girl, way to throw yourself a little quick out in there while you're doing your thing,
right?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay, so what's your favorite needle drop of week?
The Sign. I think it's gotta be a tie maybe between The Sign and Linger.
Yeah,
but I think I'm going towards The Sign because Linger was just I knew that was going to start playing before the moment the first note hit. I felt it coming in my bones. I love that song. It's one of my favorites. I love the Cranberries, but I knew that was coming.
Yeah.
The lesbians at a pretzel stand. What else are they going to play? Come on.
Oh man.
But I also love that. I love The Sign. That's one of my all-time favorite songs. And it was just cute to see Shauna singing along and making her tapioca.
I'd enjoy that. I fucking hate that song.
Oh, I love that song. I love Ace of Base.
I hated Ace of Base from the moment they stepped out on the scene. I couldn't, people would torture me with that song in high school. People would torture me with that song in high school because I hated it so much.
That whole album is such a banger. All that you want is another baby. Come on.
We heard that one in season 1. I'm like,
yeah.
I think some of my old high school friends are working for Showtime and collecting the music to have to
purposely to torture you.
Oh my god. Yeah, my needle drop of the week was definitely Fresh Blood by Eels. I love Eels.
It was also an excellent needle drop.
Yeah. I love that band so much. I don't know if I'd say they're they were one of my favorite bands at one point in time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'd say that now, but I mean, they're definitely up there. I love that band so much. I've loved them since I was 15. But yeah, what about the Sassy Magazine Award and the Zubaz Award this week?
Oh man, this is going to be a tough one. Can I give out 2 Sassies?
Yeah.
I'm going to give out 2 Sassies. 1, 2, fuck. This is so hard. Everyone was so damn good in this episode. But they're going to Ty, I think, just for an incredible performance over probably my favorite performance of the episode. She's killed it. She's so great in that prosecution as a prosecutor. I loved it. I want to give one to Misty too. They were both so good, but I'm gonna go with Ty. Just pick one from the teen timeline, and then also Jeff. I just really enjoyed his desperate need to do good this season. I felt that was so sweet, and his idea, his straight rip off of "My Name Is Earl" version.
I know. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. I'm so glad you made that comment because I was thinking the exact same thing.
It really, him loading up his bootleg Rush Hour DVDs to try to get karma was really funny.
Yeah.
Zubaz. Zubuzzi's going to adult Ty for potentially maybe being willing to murder a child for picking up a card off the ground.
Yes.
Not cool, man. Adult Ty's. I'm starting to think that we have not seen actual. I think that it's been Issa potentially since the end of last season. I don't think we've actually seen Ty this season.
Wow.
I think maybe since the hunt, it's been Issa.
Damn.
Yeah, like there's just her behavior is just off. It's just off, and there's some stuff that happens later on that I'll talk to you about off camera that really made me feel that way. But yeah, I don't think we've actually seen Ty at all this season so far in the adult timeline.
I think I know what you're gonna. I think I know what you want to talk to me about.
Yeah.
But yeah, wow, that's really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I like that theory. Yeah, I think it's because it used to be kind of obvious before, and I think it's becoming less and less obvious.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, perhaps the two are kind of starting to blur together.
Ooh.
And become one.
Mm.
They're becoming Thaisa. But yeah, yeah, I really...
that's how I wanted to make this compare. Her and Van and Ty stalking that guy reminded me so much of that episode of It's Always Sunny where they tried to study the serial killers, and Dee and Dennis are following the waitress in their like serial killer outfits.
Yes, I was thinking the same thing
about that. Yeah, I could not stop thinking about that when they're following that guy.
Dee with her clown.
Yeah, with Dee's clown out. She's like, I'm a clown killer.
Oh my god.
Real subtle. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was thinking that same thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like that. I like that.
I feel bad because I loved the New York City ending. I thought that was a really sweet, like beautiful thing to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's been a real creep. I don't know, like her complete willingness to murder that guy, and who has kids for sure. He for sure had a kid. Yeah. I don't think like I enjoyed Van saying creepy pedophile is redundant, but I don't think that creepy pedophiles advertise that they like. I don't think they would openly carry a child's frock through the streets. Like, especially into their building, into their home where people know they don't have kids.
Right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that guy has kids at home. That she was just going to roll into their house and straight up gank. So
I wonder if it's the guy that we see in the trailer who is like in the hospital and Ty's smothering him. Maybe she tried to kill him and failed, and so she goes back to kill him again. I don't know. But no, I think you have a really good theory there, and I also kind of wonder if we're Ty present and not Issa, if she actually would be interested in being with Van and wouldn't be trying to get back together with Simone.
I think that she would want to be with Van, but I don't think she would be so easily giving up her child. Yeah. Like that's the thing for me is that okay, maybe she and Simone can separate, but the fact that it's costing her child, like I don't think Ty would just give up Sammy that easy.
No, definitely not. Yeah, it's tough for me this man. I almost kind of want to give a shared, not double Sassy Award, but a shared Sassy Award to Jeff and Shauna, just for like, it just was so hilarious to me how Misty was like, I'm gonna show them, and they were just like having a great
time. Yeah. That was pretty entertaining.
I loved it.
I love we didn't talk about this at all, but the Jackie scene was so great. Like, I'm glad that we're still getting those.
Yes. And actually, I'm glad you brought that up, because getting back to the whole Adam thing, Jackie mentioned something again in this episode about somebody getting hurt. And the Jackie apparition said that same thing to Shauna in season 1 on the bridge, when she, like, right before she and Adam jumped in the water.
I remember that.
Someone's gonna get hurt. And with all of my Adam and Walter and bartender chop shop guy theories floating around, I think it's I can't help but think it's all related.
That makes sense, honestly.
Like,
it doesn't make sense for the Adam story to just be over and them to have moved on from it. It really doesn't.
I feel like when Ghost Jackie told Shauna in season 1, and yes, I know it's not actually Ghost Jackie, it's Shauna's conscience or whatever.
It's Ghost Jackie.
Yeah, it's totally Ghost Jackie. When Ghost Jackie was telling Shauna in season 1 somebody's going to get hurt, I never thought this before until this season, but I think that what she was saying is that Adam was dangerous. I don't know. There's so much fishy shit going on right now, and
seriously,
a lot of it surrounds Adam and Walter, and I don't know. But by the way, Jeff Byer, I think, is the name of the actor who plays the bartender and the chop shop guy. But the Zubaz Award, yeah, I think I'm gonna have to give that to. I think Ty's gonna get my Zubaz Award too.
It was between Ty and Shauna for me. Yeah. But Shauna, I feel like I try to keep them separate, but I feel like Shauna, it just depends on the episode. Shauna was so strong and awesome in the teen timeline that I gave her for being a total dick in the adult timeline.
Yeah.
Because I do try to treat them as one character. Yeah. But I can't. Sometimes I have to split it up. It just depends on how my heart feels that day.
Actually, you know what? No, I'm gonna go rogue here.
Ooh.
And I am going to give the Zubaz Award to Teen Lottie.
Yeah.
So easily manipulated, because you saw her. She seemed like really emotional.
Teen Lottie has lost it. She's gone.
I mean, she seemed really emotional. Like, she was crying. And then suddenly she's just like super easily manipulated by Shauna.
Well, she heard the wind. So obviously that means it's murder time.
Yeah, for sure. I do like that Akilah and Travis never changed their votes.
No, they did.
Oh, they
changed their vote. Yeah, they changed their votes to guilty after Lottie did.
I don't think they did.
No, I just rewatched it.
I swear to God, I don't.
No, they did. When Lottie changes her vote, all of Lottie's peeps do. So
really,
yeah. At the end, I think it was just Misty, Mari, and I might be wrong. Mari might have changed her vote too.
No, Mari definitely changed her vote.
But Akilah, because when Lottie changes her vote, then immediately Travis raises his hand right after. He's the next one, and then Akilah does after Travis. I was surprised. So Jen, for the first several rounds, voted not guilty. And then when Shauna made her speech and Melissa raises her hand, then she pressed Jen. Oh, I'm getting ahead of myself. I can't talk about that. Oh. Never mind. Jen does something surprising later. We'll talk about it next week. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Jen was the first person to change their vote though to guilty, and then there was like the shift in the winds, and then Lottie changed her vote, and then basically everyone else did.
Gotcha. She just caved. For as emotional as she got, she caved way too easily for my taste. But yeah, I tied the whole trial.
Really, like, I feel bad not giving Stephen Kruger any. I'll give him a snap bracelet that doesn't kill you, like sub prize, because I've enjoyed his performance all the way through the series, but this is like some of the best acting I've seen him do. He really, really killed. Like, he was especially apologizing to Shauna.
Yeah.
Like his whole bit about like, I was an underdog and I was bullied and I wanted to protect you guys from that. Like, it was really powerful. Like, it meant something, and I really loved his performance this episode. Especially.
I almost cried when he talked about when he told Misty he would have put her on the team,
and she would have gotten hurt.
Yeah. Yeah. That legit almost got me. But I
still think he burned the cabin down.
Yeah,
he's not convincing me otherwise. Especially when it'd be one thing if he at least admitted that he knew it happened, but pretending they burned it for 12 days.
Yeah, I know.
There's no way he would be far enough away not to like smell the smoke.
What if he was just getting high with Cabin Daughter and he was so zonked out of his mind that like,
no, man. He can't walk that fast. He was at the cabin. He can't walk fast enough to get as far as he would have needed to get to not to see the cabin on fire.
Listen, we're going to find out that two-legged Ben is happily married to Paul and living in the right
timeline when you wake up from your hospital bed.
And that was actually Paul that Thaisa and Van were about to kill. And now Ben is stalking them because like none of that shit in the wilderness happened. They all just imagined it, and he doesn't understand why his old soccer team is just like killed his husband and ate him.
There's your Emmy.
And I'm suddenly going to become the world's biggest Ben stan. Oh man. But did you have anything else that you wanted to talk about before we get out of here?
I don't think so. How did Walter find out about about Lottie so fast?
Probably because he killed her.
Yeah, that's an option. My husband brought this up, and I meant to bring this up way earlier, and I totally forgot. Yeah. But where Lottie died, is that the place she was envisioning in her vision in the woods? Is it? Okay, yeah.
I can't believe we almost thank you for coming with the
That was 100% Steve. I didn't even catch that I thought it looked similar, but I didn't think it was the same place.
Yeah, no, we talked about that in our trailer episode, actually.
That we see it.
Yeah, it's no, it absolutely looks like the same place where she had her vision. And what's funny is like the dress that she was wearing when she died wasn't entirely unsimilar to like the nightgown that.
Yeah, and she was wearing the same jacket. Is that like a Doug situation? Does she have like dozens of those jackets that she just wears every day? Do you know what I'm talking about? Have you seen Doug?
No, I haven't.
You never watched Doug? Oh my god.
No.
Can you picture the cartoon character Doug when you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
He wears like a brown vest and a white t-shirt and shorts, and there's one episode where he opens his closet and it's all the same outfit.
Oh, okay.
You never see that on cartoons because they always wear the same outfits, right. It was the first time I'd ever seen that happen on TV. It was really, he opens his closet and he's like, and he like picks one, and every single one is the same outfit on a hanger.
Oh, that's so funny.
Sorry, Nate, I had to explain that joke, but yeah, that's what I was like picturing. I was like, does she just have a whole closet of these like rabbit fur, like exact rabbit fur jackets, like that she can just pick from for every day of the week, or
Yeah, I don't know.
weird?
It's so funny because like all the shit that's suddenly really throwing me for a loop this season and confusing me makes me want to write my own version of my own season 3 of Yellowjackets where we find out that none of this shit happened and there's this alternate timeline and like Laura Lee is alive and she's changed her identity to get away from the rest of the team and she's now Diane Rafflesberger.
Yeah, I want to see that.
But yeah, I that's who's stalking everybody. It's Laura Lee.
I mean, because I made a joke that potentially Walter had been Melissa, because we don't know who the last survivor is still, right? A lot of people think it's Melissa. I also think it's Melissa, but I made the joke that Walter is Melissa. He's just transitioned and has decided that Misty is the alpha, so he's trying to get Shauna out of her way. Like he knows how dangerous Shauna is. But
oh my god,
I was like, we made that joke to you earlier this week, and then today I saw someone actually say that on Reddit, and I was like, there is no unique thoughts left in the world.
No, there aren't. There really aren't.
There are zero unique thoughts out there.
If you thought of it, somebody else has already has thought of it also.
I was like, no way. And where's the blonde wig to stalk Shauna because it reconnects him to his past? Yeah, I had a whole thing going, and someone else had to put it on Reddit, and I was like, "You can't be serious."
Oh my god!
I thought I was being so clever.
Well, there was when Adam was still alive, people were saying that Adam was Jackie. Like before we found out that Jackie died,
was Jackie.
That Adam was Jackie.
I love that idea.
Isn't that hilarious?
We need more trans people on the show. We only had Nicole Maines so far. Yeah, more trans representation.
We can't. Wait, what's that? What did you say? Oh
no, I just mean in general on the whole show.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. I'll edit that part out. I thought you were saying like, yeah. I thought you were.
I just mean on the run of the show.
Yeah, sorry. I thought you were talking about season 3. I'll edit this part. I'll leave the Nicole Maines part in, but I'll edit all the other shit out. But yeah. Do we have anything else? I do actually want to mention one other thing. That was the fucking biggest cat I've ever seen in my life. That cat is fucking gigantic.
What a wild thing for her to do. That was so funny.
I know.
Also puts Shauna in New York where Lottie died. So that's interesting.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah, she said she drove all the way to Manhattan.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh, I like it. Yikes.
I don't know why else she would drive. I mean, she did get the cat, but yeah. I thought that was really funny. That it was like her idea of doing a good deed is finding a matching cat and lying to the people who lost their pet.
That's pretty hilarious.
So Jeff was like, so we give them a fake cat? I don't know. It was thoughtful.
Yeah. I loved the way she said to Jeff. She's like, no, that cat is definitely dead.
Yeah, that cat's for sure dead. And I mean, honestly, 2 years.
Yeah. I mean, they can just adopt
living
a
comfortable life with somebody else who fed it. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Let's say that happened.
The cat is now living with Lisa's mom, and it ate the 14th Gilly. The cat is a murderer. They need to get that cat to find the Queen of Hearts card so that because it's a murderer now. So the cat's got it coming.
Works for me. I'd like that.
14th Gilly is definitely dead by now too.
I mean, it was in Natalie's mouth. I feel like that can't be healthy for a goldfish.
No.
It's probably not the best way to transport fish from one location to another.
Yeah, probably not.
I'm not a scientist or anything, but
you've never carried a fish home like that? I do it all the time.
No.
They keep dying. I don't know why, but all right, let's close it out here. Join us on Sunday nights. If you're not aware, we do a live after show immediately following new episodes. And join us. It's a lot of fun. And follow us on social media. We are at Cyborg Queen Media on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky, and TikTok. And on Twitter, we are Cyborg Queen TV. So come follow us there, and we will talk to you guys soon. Bye. Peace, love, and Yellowjackets.
Buzz, buzz.